Hi and welcome back again to Ask the School OT. Today I'm going to be doing a screencast on a Chrome extension called Read and Write for Google. If you're not familiar with Chrome extensions, the first thing you need to do is be in Chrome as your browser like I am. So right now I'm in Chrome. Here's on the Google page. So if you're not familiar with what a Chrome extension is, just go ahead and Google it. Chrome extensions. And you'll see that it will direct you to the Chrome Web Store. And on the Chrome Web Store, you will see all these various programs, and in essence, it's made to make your navigating of the internet and different programs easier, more fun, more entertaining, and that sort of thing. I think I saw an extension in here that would turn every face into like the face of Nicolas Cage or something like that. I don't need that one on my computer. And also, look, I think down here, yeah, there's one for a fidget spinner. I don't want that one either. I had too many kids with the fidget spinners, and they were actually banned from our schools, so oh boy. But let's get back to the task at hand. Let's type in read and write. And let's take a look at what it's going to tell us here. So here's Read and Write for Google. And here you'll see it gives you an explanation, and the reviews, I think take the reviews with a grain of salt. I think for working with my students with special needs, learning disabilities, I'd give it a 5 in a lot of cases, or at least a 4. I'd maybe give it a 5 if I could use it on more things than just Google Drive. But when I show you the functionality, I think you'll be pretty impressed. But basically, Read and Write for Google, there's different functions on here that if you go through Google Drive, so a Google Doc, a slide, a sheet, it's going to apply to those programs. I already have it downloaded. It's already added to my Chrome. So we can open up a new window, and we're going to go to Google Docs. I'll open up a new document. And because I already have Read and Write for Google downloaded, it comes up automatically. So you'll see it right here as this little tab, but watch, I can put it away and I don't need it. But if, let's say, I was working with a student, I'd pull that down, and then we'd have access to all these functions, which we will talk about. Now, one thing you'll see here, you have 29 days left to try our premium features, learn more. So if you download this and you're not a teacher, or you're an OT that does not work for a school system, you really only have 29 days unless you want to pay for it. Teachers get all the features for free. If you're a teacher, you get to have this account. I've had it for, gosh, at least a couple years now, and there's been no changes to it. I have it on my work computer, not on my home computer. This is my home computer. But if you want to know how to get a teacher account so you can have all these premium features for, forever, or at least as long as the offer lasts, again, just Google it. Free account, Read and Write for Teachers. And what you'll see here, you're going to go to Text Help. Text Help, you can watch the video. It'll give you some more information. But basically, this is the registry to be able to get this Chrome extension, okay? So once you're signed up for it, it will give you the access to Read and Write for Google as a teacher, and all the premium features for free. So now we're back to our Google Doc. Let's look at some of the features here. Up here you'll see this first one. This is going to give me word prediction. This is a dictionary, a picture dictionary. These features are going to read back to me what I've already typed in. So that's the play, pause, and stop. This is for Screenshot Reader, which we're not going to talk about here. I'm going to show you more of the features for students with limited written expression. This is the Audio Maker, the Screen Mask, the Talk and Type. This will be for speech to text, and we're going to cover that one. This is for a translator, so if for any reason, you need to translate things from English to another language, it has that function. Some highlighting functions that will show, and then this is actually a neat feature that allows you to highlight words and create a vocabulary list for your students. So we'll see if we can do that too. But I'm only going to touch on a couple of these features that I use most often with my students. Let me blow up the text here. There we go. Let's make it 18 point, maybe even bigger. 24. Okay, so the young girl sat by the lake. So I just inputted that data, used my typing, and let me go ahead and we'll show you the reading back. The young girl sat by the lake. I'll do it one more time. The young girl sat by the lake. So hopefully that was loud enough for you to be able to hear it. Now, if for some reason you didn't like that voice, you want read back in a different voice, you just go up here to settings, and you can see that we can change to a different voice. What about Tom from the United States? And what if we make him talk a little faster? Let me move this to my microphone, or to my speakers.
The young girl sat by the lake. The young girl sat by the lake.
So that voice might be easier for your student to hear, or just for fun, they might want to hear someone from the UK, from more of a Spanish-sounding voice, French-sounding voice. So anyway, you have those options. Now, let's go to next. Let's turn on the word prediction. This one I use a lot with students who they still prefer to type over the speech to text. So what you can see is as soon as you hit the word prediction, you're going to be given a box here of, let me put it over so you can hear it.
B. 2. Of. There. A. It. That. Have. I. Have. You. Been. To. Ohio.
So, let me go back. We're going to read what we have. So word prediction is still on, and maybe the student wants to check what they're doing so they can...
Have you been to Ohio?
Yes, I have been to Ohio. I live there. Correct that. So when you're using word prediction, you don't have to obviously have every word selected for you. If a student says, well, that's not what I wanted, then they start typing in the word. So what if they wanted to start a sentence with a long word like, or if it was my...
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? And
you can see if you highlight over it, it'll read it back to the student too. So that it's kind of working on the vocabulary then as well. So many dictionaries. Oh boy, I don't know how to spell that. But that looks like one of those might be close. So,
Dictates. Dictator.
Then they can highlight over those words until they find the one they want.
Dictionary.
Okay, and so on. So that is word prediction. So if, a lot of you guys are probably familiar with Co-Writer and that program, and I think I think this word prediction is also really good. So if we go next, we'll turn off word prediction and let's go to speech to text. So when I highlight, or when I, hit this button here, whatever I say is going to come on the screen. Okay. Now here's a tip though. One of the toughest things for the students is they have to actually say period, or they have to say comma in order for it to show up. The young girl sat by the lake, period. The young girl sat by the lake, period. And then that will pause it. So when I'm ready to speak again, She put her feet in the water, exclamation point. So you can see I have to speak pretty clearly, though, to make sure that it catches exactly what I wanted to say. So a nice added bonus to that then is that students have to slow down their rate of speech. They have to enunciate clearly. And when they make mistakes, you know, if they can't read it themselves, but they go back and they have the computer read it for them, you know, it's a good way to double check, is that what I wanted to say, and they can go back and make those changes.
The young girl sat by the lake. She put her feet in the water.
So finally, let me just turn that off there. Let me just show you the dictionary features here. So if I highlight young and I go to dictionary, now I'm going to have the definition. If I go to the picture dictionary, okay, there's their impression of young, okay? It'd be like the highlighted person here. This one's very interesting. Now, I'm going to show you very quickly that vocabulary feature. So if I take dictionary and highlight it, lake and highlight it, and water and highlight it, and then I hit vocabulary, you'll see it says vocabulary list, a new document containing your vocabulary list is being created. Takes a couple seconds here, but it will bring it up, and it's really cool. And again, these are Google Docs, so this can be then shared with mom and dad. You know, it can be shared with other teachers and that sort of thing. So here's your vocabulary list, and it's untitled. You can title it. But again, those words that I highlighted, now I have the definition and I have these symbols, and I can also add notes as needed. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm not going to save that one, but if I wanted to save it and share it, vocabulary list for John Doe, and then I could go over, maybe go over here, share it to his teacher, share it with mom, or put it in my work samples, things like that, and use it as a word list later on. So we're back here again. So again, you might encounter a little bit of frustration when you're trying to get Read and Write for Google downloaded onto your computer. You have to be signed into Chrome, you have to be signed into Google. There are limitations that it's only available to the documents on Google Drive. But for practice and for skill building, I just love it. My students have been so motivated by it. They love the speech to text. They love doing a combination of speech to text with word prediction. You know, it's improved their vocabulary, their confidence with written expression. So hopefully you will find some good uses for it as well.